Good morning, besties. This is gonna be a quick vlog. I got some updates. Let's see if this works any better. There's this thing about angles, besties. There's this thing about angles, and like, I don't want it to be like below me looking up. I don't want to be like too high looking down. I want it to just be like kind of my high level, because you're here with me now in my internet. I mean, you're on your internet, obviously, but all these zeros and ones of my video are somewhere on a server being served to you directly into your eyeballs and or ears. It is the July 30th. This is a beard I've not shaved in 7 days. I'm about to shave. It's very sad. You should enjoy this. Enjoy this while you have the chance. Because I won't be able to by the time this video's out. Anyway, what's going on? So I finally had to sit down with Tonic about Food Truck Load RPG, and I'm so sorry. I was doing this is how I like do everything together series, and now it is a collaborative series. So we're going to write one book with potential for 2 or 3 more. We spent an hour outlining the whole thing, which was very productive and like very professional. And we're both upholders, so it's like we see very eye to eye. We're both married rebels. We're just on different coasts. Anyway, so Tonic is awesome. She's got a pen name for Cozies, and she's got a pen name for Progression Fantasy. I am not going to do that. So it's probably gonna be like either we could do a combined pen name, or we're gonna be like, hey, her pen name for Cozies and then my pen name, JP Weaver. Right. For the thing. But like, it looks like it's good. I'm gonna be doing a lot of work for that this week. Before Blood RPG Con. I'm not going there, but she is, and I want to give her something to look at while she's flying there, because we're gonna alternate chapters. All right, so 8 days into my launch, Papa Fit realized that I was launching. Papa Fit is the owner of the Immersive Ink Discord server. 3 or 4 months ago, he told everyone that he was going to be launching on June 18th. Today's June 30th. It is day 12. Papa Fit was not supposed to find out that I was going to Rising Stars until I was going to be number 1 above him. He's now like number 40 something, and I am about to hit Rising Stars. Let's see if I can figure this out while I'm doing this. So Bodega Cat is my story. Oh, we're still 24. Bodega Cat is my story about a cat in the apocalypse. Basically, it's a system apocalypse. I want to do it a little differently. It's also based off of The Power Broker, which is the story of Moses. And if you have any idea what I'm talking about, you're probably like, oh shit. Because I am a big fan of that book. I started to reread to remind myself, and I was instantly chilled. So I'm like, okay, this is a really good book for you to read as a fan of autobiographies. I'm just checking my genre level on Rising Stars on Stepan Chizov's author website. If you're launching a book to Rising Stars, this is not sponsored content, by the way. Stepan Chizov has a service that lets you kind of figure out how far you are from Rising Stars, or how many steps you are. He's a great guy. I'm gonna put a link to his stuff in the below. All right, so I had 35 shadows arranged. I was stealth launching it. I did a during InkCon, in the Immersive Ink Convention, which is where I did a panel on villainy, and I did the opening keynote. Right, I spent 4 months arranging this. I am in number 2 in contemporary, which means I am 21 positions away from joining me in Rising Stars. So I'll probably hit the top 50 fictions, recent fictions on Royal Road very shortly. I arranged shoutouts. I told everyone I swore every single person in secrecy, and I still told them that I was going to get to number one. We're gonna launch the same day as his thing's called Build Fight Survive BFS. I'm sure it's great. I haven't read it yet because he writes great stuff. And I was gonna have Bodega Hat number one, BFS number two, and then him be like, I thought it was this was launching later, and be like, it's like, I uploaded the fiction to Royal Road. I put up a chapter that said launching July 18th, and I would remind you that today is June 30th, and it actually launched on June 18th. And what I told every single person inside this conspiracy was that you are not allowed to post, you're not allowed to talk about this on Immersive Ink Discord, which is like the one where I do most of my stuff. It is like, now it's open knowledge, but like no one knew that I was launching because I wanted them to all just be like part of this. And I think that so like Finn and I were friends, but like also like enemies. And I think that authors need a good enemy, and having it be another author is like hilarious. Also, MS launched at the same time. His is not doing as well, but he doesn't need to because he's a signed author and he's a full-time writer. Well, I guess technically none of us need it, but this is just like, I'm just trying to show my influence where I'm like, okay, hey, guess what? Got to Rising Stars, but didn't say a word on my Discord I hang out in all the time. I just like pull people aside, just be like, by the way, do you want in? And like the thing is that like I kind of snowballed, and people are just like, yeah, I want in on this, and I'm like, all right. So I owe a bunch of people shout outs as but so let's go over the stats right now. It's got 5,000 views, 135 followers, and 158 pages are posted, which is good. It's got about like 10 reviews. All right, so this is where you have a backlog, right? Chapter 24 is up on Patreon. Chapter 19 was up yesterday on Royal Road. I'm writing chapter 61, which is in book 2. I'm writing chapter 61 today, on the 30th. And I expect I'll be writing Bodega Cat for the next, until at least August. It's either gonna be 3, 4, or like 12 books, depending on how long I wanna take this. Because Bagel's gotta stabilize his city, or at least his block. But like, I like the fact that I could get like that many people like jazzed up about my book, and just in terms of let's get fed. And so that's kind of what's up. Is you should get an author friend of me where you're like, all right, I'm gonna beat you in this, or like, I'm going to beat you and I'm not gonna say a word, and you're not gonna notice until I'm beating you. And god damn it, somebody figured it out, because I was on a list with him. It was probably like the post-apocalyptic. Let me see. My eyes. It was probably, yeah, he was probably in post-apocalyptic, where I'm number 13. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna show you this real quick. So this is Stepan's website. I'll kind of let you know where you are. So right now I'm at post-apocalyptic number 13. And I can't tell you enough how interesting it is that someone took the time to code that, and that it works out so well. But that's what I got. I'll put a link to that there. If you are launching on Royal Road, then you should consider checking that out. You should consider doing what the guides say to do. I will have a guide out here. I'm making a guide for a relaunch, which will help you when you're doing that. And I'm also working on a deal where we kind of like have like a centralized repository of who's launching when, so we can just know, hey, 5 big authors are launching on this exact date, so maybe like shift it, or like maybe get in. So it's not just me, it's like my friend Savitas launched his fiction, and my friend Solomon launched his fiction, and he's doing really well. I'm ahead of him, but like I also want to do well. So he's taking a little break. But like, you can take it personally, or you can just be like, hey, this is kind of a fun thing I do. not gonna take it personally. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy this. I wrote a chapter called Gentrifier Crab. You'll see the thing. It says like, "Who has aux cables in the apocalypse?" Is the line I just wrote for book 2. Like, and I was just like, "Fuck, that's so fucked." That fucking line slaps. I'm so excited. But that's what's going on. I'll be writing Bodega Cat, my last chapter for the in between, which you'll find a link down below. That's kind of a hive mind project, and I'm gonna write Food Truck, the RPG. I'm gonna bust my ass writing that shit for the next 2 weeks, so Tony has something to work with. But that's what's going on. So besties, drop me a line. Let me know what you think. How could I have destroyed Fid's day even better? I don't know. Damn, I got that white screen. As always, you know, do something. Have a non-zero day.